Hi everybody! Today we're going to be learning about 1.4, which is multiplying integers. Okay, so make sure you have your math composition notebook out and that you are writing everything that is on my screen. If you need to pause the video to finish writing in your math composition notebook, that is totally fine. Go at your own pace so that you can understand these notes and also get them down in your math composition notebook. All right, so the first thing I want you to write is 1.4 multiplying integers. Then I also would like you to write the learning target, which is I will be able to find the product of integers. So we're going to be talking about multiplying integers today. So let's get started. So down here you'll see we're going to have two different scenarios. We're going to have multiplying integers with the same sign, and same sign means they're either both positive or they're both negative. That's what same sign means. Different sign means one's positive, one's negative. Positive and negative. All right, so let's take a look at the rules for these. So it says right here, multiplying integers with the same sign. The product of two integers with the same sign is positive. Do we see that? So if you are multiplying together two numbers and they have the same sign, it's always going to be positive. So look down here at the two examples. All right, these are both positive. Therefore, the solution is positive. These are both negative. Therefore, they're the same sign, which means this is going to be positive. Okay, let's go to the next rule. The next rule is multiplying integers with different signs. So the product of two integers with different signs is always going to be negative. All right, it's always going to be negative. So let's take a peek at these examples. So for example, 2 down here, that's positive, and that 3 is negative, which means your answer is going to be negative. Over here, you have a negative, then your 3 is positive, which means your answer is going to be negative. So besides that, your multiplication stays the same. You're going to multiply numbers just like how you know how to multiply them. The only thing that is different that you're going to have to worry about is the sign. So let's get started. Example 1, multiplying integers with the same signs. So the first thing I'd like you to do when you're doing 1.4 problems is I want you to identify, are both of the numbers positive? Are they both negative? Or do they have different signs? So right here I can tell they're both negative, okay? Which that means that they're the same sign. And if I scroll up to my rule of multiplying numbers with the same sign right here in the green, I know that the product of two integers with the same sign is positive. So that means all I'm going to do is I'm going to write over here -5 times -6 equals, now I know 5 times 6 is 30, okay? And I know that since they're the same sign, my answer is going to be positive. So I know my answer is just going to be a positive 30. So that's it. That's all we have to do. All right, let's go to example 2. All right, so for example 2, multiplying integers with different signs. You want to first identify, are they the same or different signs? Well, I see the 3 is positive and the 4 is negative. So that means that these are different signs. All right, that tells me if I go up to the top where we just were, I know that my answer is going to be negative if I'm multiplying numbers with different signs. Therefore, 3 times -4 is going to be a -12. All right? Okay, let's look over here. 7 is negative. 4 is positive. Again, these have different signs. Okay, since these have different signs, I know my answer is going to be negative. So I know -7 times 4 is going to be a -28. All right. Okay, so what I would like you to do now is I would like you to, on your own, pause the screen, and I want you to try number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you have finished those 4 problems, you may unpause it and check your answers. Okay, you should have done 1 through 4, and here are the answers. 5 times 5 is going to give us 25. 4 times 11 is going to give us 44. 1 or -1 times -9, same sign, so my answer is going to be positive 9. And negative 7 times negative 8 is going to give me a positive 56 since they're the same sides. Okay, let's scroll down to our last example. So now we're going to look at exponents. So evaluate negative 2 to the second power. You want to notice here the parentheses. These are important when we're working with negative exponents, okay? So the parentheses mean the whole thing. So negative 2, the whole thing in that parentheses is being multiplied by itself. So that means when we write this out, it's going to be negative 2 times negative 2, okay? That represents negative 2 squared. So again, we need to identify, are these the same or different signs? Well, they're both negative, so that means they are the same signs, which means if we multiply two numbers with the same sign, your answer is always going to be positive. So this is going to be a positive 4. And then finally, we go down here, okay? And if we are looking at, it is negative 5 squared, but it doesn't have the parentheses around it, okay? What you're going to do, that negative is going to stay out in the front, and you're going to write a parentheses. Essentially, it's that 5 that's being squared. So you're going to do 5 times 5, all right? Well, we know 5 times 5 is 25, but you can't forget the negative sign out front. Therefore, it is going to equal negative 25. All right? That one didn't have parentheses, so it looks a little bit different. Okay, well, those are the 1.4 notes. We will be completing that 1.4 in class the next day. So thank you for taking notes.